Hello, beautiful black people. I hope that all is well in your world, and this day was a very good day for you and all of your wonderful, wonderful black loved ones. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters, know that it took about 100 days for the COVID-19 infections to infect 1 million Americans. It took about 75 days for the COVID-19 disease to infect 2 million Americans. It took about 50 days for COVID-19 to infect 3 million Americans. And it took 17 days for the COVID-19 disease to infect 4 million Americans. Can't you see that the COVID-19 disease, the rate of infections are increasing? Infection rates are on the rise. More people are testing positive than they did 2 months ago. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters, especially in cities like Phoenix, Arizona, Dallas, Texas, Cleveland, Ohio, Miami, Florida, Las Vegas, Nevada, just to name a few, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. The COVID-19 pandemic has been thoroughly mismanaged by Trump and his gangster regime. Trump and his gangster regime. And the entire Republican Party is part of that gangster regime. Do you see the silence from the Republicans in the Congress and the Senate regarding Trump and his army of gangsters, unidentified gangsters, mercenaries, killers, abusers that are running around free in Portland, Oregon? And I believe that the black mayor of Chicago has agreed to allow Trump to send a gang of those killers, abusers, unidentified gangsters to Chicago. I don't know what that is about, but I believe the mayor of Chicago has agreed to allow that to happen in that city where there are many, many black folks, people that look like me. Are you familiar with the term medical apartheid? It is the dark history of experimentation on black folks from colonial times to the present. And get that. Medical apartheid is the dark history of medical experimentation on black folks from colonial times to the present. And did you know that until the last century, American white medical practitioners shared a deep frustration with much of Europe because anatomical dissections had become a key to physicians' training, but because the procurement of cadavers, and the operative word is cadavers, and often dissections itself was illegal and socially unacceptable. Doctors, white doctors, and their porters had to employ a creative leaven it's a creative technique leavened with criminal forces to secure the bodies of the recently deceased for dissections, medical dissections. These bodies tended to be black bodies, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. Medical apartheid. The attitudes of these white racist Southerners, both toward the use of human bodies in medical education and toward black folks, were silently but clearly revealed in the medical profession. Heavy reliance on black cadavers, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. That was the practice, the routine practice. They would instruct the Southern hospitals to deliver black bodies directly from the wards to the autopsy tables without asking anyone's consent. And today, in July of 2020, the legacy of this post-mortem racism, it was post-mortem racism. White folks never stop being racist toward black folks. Even when black folks die, they are still devalued. They are still used as guinea pigs for medical experimentation. Postmodern racism survives. It survives today. It survives today. It survives today in policies that continue to appropriate the bodies of friendless paupers. You get it? Friendless paupers. And these friendless paupers are almost always black, such as homeless folks, such as homeless black folks. A disproportionate number of whom are black. And these black cadavers are today used for medical experimentation, for medical purposes. These white medical educators hold that dissection is necessary because students must familiarize themselves with the human body before they treat living patients. And then, who, they asked, would wish to be treated by a doctor who had never personally investigated, familiarized herself with the human body? However, recent studies have shown that fewer people are donating their bodies for medical education. In a 2004 Johns Hopkins report, only 49% of those surveyed said that they would consider donating their bodies. And the worst up, it went up to 70% fewer black folks said they would donate. Race and education were the most important determinants. Black folks, literacy. Black folks, literacy. Black folks, literacy. Black folks, literacy was still widely outlawed and remained low in affected communities until the early 20th century. So witnesses spread the information about the exploitation of black bodies via oral traditions that alerted others to the danger, but sometimes exaggerated its extent. The word of mouth spread the reputation of hospitals and medical schools, which was not typically affiliated with hospitals until the middle of the 19th century, as repositories for black bodies that had been stolen. The black bodies had been stolen under cover of darkness by white night doctors for use in medical dissection rooms and laboratories. The oral tradition is frequently dismissed as old wise tales and superstition because tales of the theft of black bodies sound fantastic to many whites. And the African Americans who pride themselves on their scientific sophistication, many people assume that belief in the theft of black bodies is paranoia, born of a violently racist history. I disagree. It is still happening. In January of 1998, in regards to Janie Gaines and Sarah Cox, known from experiments that black cadavers tend to disappear. In January of 1998, the sisters frowned as they surveyed the crumbling headstones, trash and tangled weeds, strangling Greenwood, the Birmingham, Alabama cemetery in which their families had long laid their sister, Addie Mae Collins. Although most Americans do not know her name, Addie Mae is a national icon of sorts. The 13-year-old was a martyr of the civil rights movement, one of 4 girls who was murdered in the 1963 bombing of Birmingham 16th Street Baptist Church, a few days after the city school was integrated. Martin Luther King Jr. eulogized her, and her tombstone bears the rousing inscription, "She died so freedom might live." It was 30 years before her sisters could bear to visit her grave, and when they saw its neglected state, they immediately arranged to have Addie Mae's remains moved to another better maintained cemetery. However, workers who opened the grave recoiled in shock. It was empty, devoid of casket and corpse. Addie Mae's body, like so many buried in black cemeteries throughout the South, is missing. No one can know with certainty who took the body or why, but many are convinced that her body joined the untold thousands of anonymous black cadavers on anatomic tables, on dissection tables, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. It is called medical apartheid, medical experimentation on the bodies of dead black folks. It is still happening today. White folks, racist white folks, never stop discriminating, manipulating, misusing, abusing black folks. Even after black folks die, their black bodies are stolen, dissected, cut up, used for medical experimentation. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. That's all I have on this one.